Namaste. Welcome to your practice. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be doing sun salutations. We'll run through sun salutation A and B. So let's begin standing. And stand in mountain pose. Lift and spread your toes and turn your feet so that the feet are hip distance apart. And the center of the ankles and the base of the second toes, those lines are parallel. Stand firmly, rooting your feet to the floor, lengthen through the spine, as if your head was being lifted up and you're just lifting, following that path. Take the front of the shoulders back and turn your palms forward. Take a couple of breaths. So sun salutations are a great practice to do in the morning. Again, you're saluting the sun. You're welcoming your day, welcoming yourself into your day, welcoming yourself into your practice. And by practice, I don't just mean the practice that you're doing on your yoga mat, but the practice of living. So as you expand the inner body, lengthen from the hips up into the armpits, lengthen the sides of your neck, open through the roof of your mouth, and let the eyes be soft so that your body becomes this kind of open and receptive being. And take 3 deep breaths here to welcome yourself into your practice. And when you're ready, open your eyes and step to the front of your mat, taking this same alignment in Tadasana. So we'll run through one cycle of sun salutation A, and then I'll break it down, and then we'll go 3 times together through A, and then we'll do the same thing for B. So standing in mountain pose like you just did, again, the top of the shoulders back, the front of the shoulders roll back. Bring the palms of your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Widen the back of your waist so that welcoming is also, the breath is also welcomed into the back of the body. And then from here, inhale, lift and lengthen your arms up. Look up. As you exhale, fold forward. Bring your fingertips to the floor, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Look forward, halfway up. And then exhale, take your feet back into plank and lower down through chaturanga all the way to the floor. Inhale, Bhujangasana, cobra pose, lifting the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'd like to take 3 to 5 breaths here. We'll do about 3. At the end of the exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, step or walk forward. Lengthen your spine halfway, lifting halfway. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine to reach up. Exhale, the hands to the heart. So we'll go a bit slower, breaking down each of the postures so that you can really feel into the alignment. So you can align your Tadasana like we did earlier. And then as you inhale, lift your arms, Urdhva Hastasana. So here, turn the inner arms back. And as you turn the inner shoulders, the biceps backwards, your thumbs turn back as well, your palms turn back. And as you do that, you want to try to keep the widening of your back. So keep reaching up, hug the arms towards the center, but keep welcoming the breath into the back body. Look up as you press down into your legs, lengthen all the way up through the fingertips. Now, as you exhale, dive forward, opening the heart and hinge from your hips. So if you're tighter in your hamstrings, bend your knees enough to create that hinge in your hips. You don't want to fold from your back. You want to fold from your hips. And then inhale, lengthen to lift halfway up. Now here, it sometimes helps to bring the hands just below the knees. In Ardha Uttanasana, lift the lower belly, again welcoming the breath into the back. Press your feet down and turn your thighs in. So when we turn the thighs inwards, so the front of the thighs turns towards the inner thighs and the inner thighs turns towards the back of the thighs, and that creates a widening effect in the back of the pelvis. The lower back slightly arches. Try not to collapse into the lower back. So arch just a little bit to lengthen from the pelvis to the crown of your head. And then exhale and fold. Step your feet back into plank. The legs in plank are like Tadasana. And the hands, the wrists are parallel to the front edge of your mat. Spread your fingers. And then to come down, shift forward. Bend your elbows slightly out to the sides. And the lower you go down, the more you have to lift the front of your shoulders. And then come all the way down. Now, because you press yourself forward, your hands, your wrists will be a little bit further back. So you can bring the wrist under the elbows, not the shoulders. So I see a lot of people with hands under their shoulders lifting up. This pushes a little bit more pressure into the lower back. So bring your hands back under your elbows. Lengthen the sides of your waist, welcoming the breath into the sides of the body, and take the head of the arm bones back. Inhale, lift the torso. Press your feet down and reach from your pelvis out through your feet and up through the crown of the head. Straighten your elbows if you're at the top. If not, you might be lower down here. That's fine as well. But you want to make sure that the shoulders are not up near the ears. Good. And then take it back. Downward facing dog. Now, if you're not sure on the distance between your hands and your feet, you can always come back into plank. Check it out. Just make sure that you can have your comfortable plank pose, and then keeping your hands and your feet where they were in plank, press back. So this is just a quick way of trying to find your alignment. Hinge in the hips, bend your knees, and turn your inner thighs back. Turn the inner thighs back like you did in Ardha Uttanasana. And then here, take the outer thighs, hug the buttocks, take the outer thighs back, hug the buttocks, and reach down through your inner and outer heels. From the center of your heart, reach through your hands. Press into the hands. Press into the knuckles where the fingers meet the hand, right at the base of the fingers. Keep lifting your lower belly as you reach through your arms. Now, bend your knees, exhale all the way out, and then inhale, step or lightly hop forward. Lengthen your spine on that same inhalation. So now if you're working with your fingertips down, because you're able to hinge in your hips, really pull the spine out of the pelvis to get that length. Keep lifting your belly, and then exhale to fold. Relax the belly, relax the back of your neck. Let the head release down. And then reach through Ardha Uttanasana to come up to Urdhva Hastasana, like we did at the beginning. And then exhale, Samastitihi, the hands to the heart. Okay, so you don't have to remember all of that today, but try to remember a little each time you do it. So let's go through it, and let's go through 3 more times, just this one. Exhale your breath. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plank. You can inhale in plank, and then exhale, shift forward and come all the way down. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. At the end of the exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, hop or jump forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Now there might have been an extra little breath there, but inhale, lift the arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Again, lengthen your lower back. You should feel a bit of a arch through your lower back. Exhale, step back into plank. You can hold here or come down. I'll come down straight away this time. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. The thighs stay down. Exhale, downward dog. Three breaths. One more. On the exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or hop forward, lengthen into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Move the shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, exhale, Samastitihi. Now one more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold. I'll just cue the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. Exhale. Exhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale to hop forward or step forward. Lengthen Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Samastitihi. Breathe here. So that's Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A. So now we're going to do Surya Namaskar B. Surya Namaskar B is very similar to Surya Namaskar A, except we add in chair pose, so Utkatasana, as well as Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. So we start in the same way as we did before. So again, we'll run through it together. And this time, we'll do this one only 3 times. So we'll run it together, and then I'll break it down, and then we'll go together again. So starting with the hands together in front of the heart, opening the heart here by lifting from the lower belly and broadening across the middle back as well as the top of the chest. Now, as you inhale, sit down into chair pose and lift your arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. So now it's like Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, lower down to Chaturanga. Inhale, press yourself forward and up. Shoulders back. Here, I'll encourage upward dog, so you can lift your thighs up off the floor by lifting your chest higher and your knees higher. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg straight up. So here, there's a little change. Exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. You can keep your heel lifted or lower the heel down. So the traditional way is the heel down. Inhale and lift your arms up into Warrior 1. Exhale, come back down. Chaturanga. Hovering. Inhale, lift. Upward dog, lifting the knees. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step the left foot forward between your hands. Lower your back heel. Inhale, Warrior 1. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now you can take a couple of good breaths here. At the end of your exhalation, bend your knees. Look forward. Inhale, step or hop forward. Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold. Sit in Utkatasana. Lift the arms. And then exhale, Samastitihi. Again, take a moment here to open the body, open the back of the body, open to the universal, to your universal side. Open to nature, the nature of the body, the nature of the mind. Open the heart, open the front of the body, the individual self. We inhale, sitting into chair. So Urdhva Hastasana is just replaced by chair, right? So the upper body is like Urdhva Hastasana, except we have to hinge the hips back. So just make sure as you're hinging not to sway the back. So you draw your lower belly in. And also a tendency is sometimes we don't sit back enough. So I see a lot of people like bending the knees forward, and then you're not really sitting in a chair. So you really have to think that you're sitting in a chair. So you move the inner thighs back. As you press your big toes down, move your inner thighs back, and then draw the outer hips, the outer buttocks down. So even the outer buttocks reach back and underneath. From your hips, reach up through your arms. And now as you exhale, fold forward into Uttanasana. Now this is the regular, so inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lifting your chest, look forward. And then as you exhale, you're gonna step or jump back into Chaturanga. Inhale and lift into Cobra, Bhujangasana. And then from here, this is where we grow taller. So you lift your chest and you lift your thighs. The legs are engaged. Now if your elbows are bent in Cobra pose, then keep working Cobra. And then exhale, lift your lower belly, roll over the toes, or just simply place your toes, uncurl the toes and press back into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Try to keep your hips leveled, so don't turn your hips. Keep the hips leveled, and then exhale, bring your right foot forward, lower your back heel to the floor. Here, I recommend going hip distance apart, so the feet are on separate tracks. This will help the hips open slowly. If you're familiar with this pose and you have you're able to get a deep bend, keep the left hip turning forward and bring your heel to heel. Okay, challenge yourself there. And then from here, with the top of your right thigh down, inhale and lift into Warrior One. You can stay there. And then as you exhale, you come back down. So it's actually just a one breath normally, unless you're doing a longer practice. Step back, and then Chaturanga. So Chaturanga again, like before, you shift slightly forward over your toes, elbows bend slightly away from the body, and the shoulders move back, the belly lifts, squeeze the legs. And then inhale, thread yourself through, keep rising up until your knees lift, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. As you exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Again, level pelvis. Turn your right hip back more. And roll your left hip down. Again, don't drop the left hip. So you just don't want to lift the left hip higher than the right. As you exhale, step forward. Lower your back heel. Again, feet on separate tracks. Or if you're challenging yourself today a little bit with the more classical alignment, bring your heel to heel. So heel to heel alignment. Bend the top of find the deep hip crease, the top of your left thigh. Lower that down. And then keeping that right thigh turned in. Inhale. Reach the arms up, turn the inner arms back. And then exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale. Press yourself forward with your toes, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, or Cobra pose, or Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Either rolling over your toes or just flipping the toes over first. And breathe here. So here you can take nice 5 deep breaths, 3 to 5 deep breaths here. I'll do 5. At the end of the exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, step or hop forward. Exhale and fold. So every time you hop forward, as you hop forward, you're lengthening into that. You're using that inhale to lengthen into Ardha Uttanasana. And then you exhale to fold. So the hopping forward It's you hop forward and you lengthen into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. In Uttanasana, move your shoulders away from your ears. So don't let the shoulders drop. You want the neck to be long and the crown of the head pulls down to the floor. The back of your legs lifts up towards the sitting bones as you ground your feet. And then bend your knees. We go into Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale, lift your belly, lift your arms. Look up. My shoulders are generally a bit tighter, so my hands, I don't usually bring my hands together, so you can keep your hands apart. Or if your shoulders are really flexible, then you can bring your hands together. Exhale, Samastitihi. Okay, so I generally practice with the arms a little bit wider, but you want them as narrow as you can. And eventually the hands may touch, okay? So let's run through this together one more time. Bring the palms of the hands together. Sit back as you inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Bhujangasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right leg lift. Exhale, set up your feet for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale, Vira 1. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step forward, set up for Vira 1. Back heel to the floor. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha, exhale. Now breathe deep, 5 breaths. 1. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. Bend the knees at the end of the breath. Inhale, jump forward. Lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen into chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Keep the heart open. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Feel the full opening of the body. And then you can rest in Shavasana for a few minutes. So the sun salutations are quite invigorating. They wake up the body. They wake up the mind, the breath, the heart. They activate our system on many different levels. So I invite you to practice them in the morning. You can follow along with me. So thank you again for joining me. Again, remember to do a little shavasana to rest your body or some meditation. So let's just close with the sound of Om. Thank you so much, everybody. Breathe and be well. Namaste.